you the topic cranial nerves. This episode is regarding how can you learn cranial nerves easily and how can you remember them easily. So there are 12 pairs of cranial nerves. So I have mentioned it from 1 to 12 here. So first of all, I will be teaching you a rhyme, okay, using the first and the two letters of these cranial nerves. So, oh, tick tock, glow, vaspy, high. So how I am going to teach this is oh, tick tock, glow, vaspy, high. So you have to learn this music in order to learn the cranial nerves in order. Okay. So the first O is for olfactory nerve. So if you are not remembering what is first, so you have to think of all. So it means olfactory. So the first one is olfactory cranial nerve. And here we go. The second one is optic nerve. And the third one, oculomotor, trochlear, trigeminal, abducens, facial, vestibulo, cochlear, glossopharyngeal, vagus, spinal accessory, and the last and final one, hypoglossal. These are the 12 pairs of cranial nerves. So we can remember only this by using this rhyme. Oh, tick tock, glow, vaspy, high. So make sure that you highlight all those words and learn this cranial nerves. Next, I'll teach you the functions of cranial nerves. So first I'll be marking a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. So this is how we are going to study the functions of cranial nerves. Starting from the first cranial nerve, that is olfactory cranial nerve. So olfactory cranial nerve, it helps to smell. So the first one, olfactory, that will help to smell, and please try to connect that into your real face so that you can remember it easily. Okay, so the first one is the nose, so it helps to smell. The second one is the optic nerve. The optic nerve will help in vision. Okay, and the third one is the oculomotor nerve. This oculomotor nerve helps in the eyeball movement. This third one helps in the eyeball movement. So the third cranial nerve, that is the oculomotor nerve, helps in the eyeball movement and also the pupillary light reflex. So this is by the function of the eye muscles. That is the third cranial nerve, using superior rectus, inferior rectus, and medial rectus. And the eye muscles that are inferior oblique, superior rectus, and the medial rectus. Here on we are moving to the fourth nerve, that is the trochlear nerve. Trochlear nerve also helps in the eyeball movement. That also helps in the eyeball movement. Fourth one, using the eye muscle. Nerve uses the eye muscle, superior oblique. And now I am skipping the fifth cranial nerve. Instead of that, I'll talk about the sixth cranial nerve. The sixth cranial nerve, that is the abducens cranial nerve. This abducens cranial nerve also helps in the eyeball movement using the eye muscle, lateral rectus. So the second cranial nerve, the optic nerve, will helps in vision. Likewise, the 3, 6, and the fourth cranial nerve helps in the eyeball movement using different eye muscles. Next one, moving on to the fifth cranial nerve, that is the trigeminal cranial nerve. This helps in the sensation of chewing, touch, and pain. So that is why it represents like this 5. So it helps in the sensation of pain and touch, and also it helps in chewing. So the fifth cranial nerve helps in chewing. And already I have talked about the 6th cranial nerve. So next is the 7th cranial nerve, that is the facial nerve. So I'm representing the full face using the 7th cranial nerve, because the 7th cranial nerve helps in the facial expression. So it helps in facial expression, and also it helps in lacrimation, salivation, and it also helps in the sensation of taste in anterior 2/3 of tongue. So this is the total function of the facial nerve. That is, it helps in the facial expression. Likewise, you can start from top to bottom. So it helps in the facial expression, lacrimation, salivation, and also the sensation of taste in the anterior 2/3 of the tongue. Next one is the 8th cranial nerve, that is a vestibulocochlear nerve. So I have represented it as the ear because this vestibulocochlear nerve helps in hearing and balance. So this is what the vestibulocochlear nerve function. The next one is the 9th cranial nerve, that is the glossopharyngeal nerve. This helps in salivation and also the sensation of 1/3 of taste of the tongue. That is the posterior. Okay. So the 9th cranial nerve, that is the glossopharyngeal nerve, helps in the sensation of taste in the posterior 1/3 of the tongue. The next one is the vagus nerve. The 10th one is the vagus nerve. So I'm representing it here because it helps in swallowing. So you can vagus nerve functions. The vagus nerve functions are swallowing, gag reflex, coughing, digestion, heart rate, and also it helps to function of the lungs. So here are 11. So it helps in turning the head. This 11th cranial nerve helps in turning the head. Okay. So the next and the last one is hypoglossal nerve. I'm representing it in the tip of the tongue because this helps in the tongue movement.
Thank you for watching my video. If you like my video, please do subscribe, comment and share.